Evening, guys. I have been looking forward to doing this video massively, just because of the interest in testing engines, and I love testing engines. So I've had arrive in the post a day ago this is one of the generic compression testing kits. So this one's branded Roadster, the same kits in Silverline, Blue Spot or Blue Point. In fact, a myriad of other different companies buy it and brand it. And in fairness, the kit looks nice quality. So all I've done is trim the side open just to speed up the test. But I didn't want to test it, and wanted to show you first on camera. I'm really excited just to see how this kit performs. So I'm going to test this generic style kit against my the Mityvac Professional, the 5530, which is always given me outstanding accuracy, but also consistency as well. And I thought today what we would do then is we will test a selection of engines, both in size and in engine condition, just to see whether or not they read favourably on lower compression, higher compression, smaller CC or larger CC. So I've got and we can always pull another one, depending how the results go, we can always pull another engine. There's a lot to choose from. So first one then is going to be the STIHL 048 Iconic saw. So this is the Wood Boss, so a few CCs up on the standard 028. So this is a 48 CC. I've then got one of my Conegliano Alpina Caster, spectacular, beautiful cosmetic saw, 70cc, and then one of the Brutes. So this is the STIHL 056 AD Super, 87 cc's, and they're all in varying degrees of engine condition. So the Wood Boss has, so these are all stone cold, not run today. Really reasonable compression and starts beautifully, idles, cuts really well. The Alpina, or the Caster, is unusual as well with the 51mm piston. She's lower compression, and though she barely starts to fire and would just, you could kind of eventually tease her to run, she's lower compression but bigger displacement. And then the 056 Super is she's a brute. So got my notepad, and I like to record all the figures for the different engines. So let's start with this generic style kit. And I've got to say, it looks, I've been itching to get this kit out. It looks okay, quite a nice little presentation case, and gauge feels a little bit tinny and cheap, but that's no matter. There's the pressure relief valve, has, interestingly, Schrader valve in the tip, which you don't see very often at this type of price point. I think this was 23 or 27, can't remember, around that mark, the mid-20s. Okay, and a range of adapters as well, so a couple of quick release connections, okay, and various adapters for the common sizes then. I'm not big on these stepped ones for a 14 to an 18, but okay. And ooh, that's tight. If you have tight access, there's an extended adapter here. Long reach, maybe useful. Not so much for chainsaws, I don't think at all, but okay. Let us test a couple of engines. Can't wait. Hey. So in their histories then, this 028 has been with me a while, and She was tested. She was tested a while ago, but was around. It's always good to write them down. I never wrote any of them down. But between 130 and 140, it's really cold here tonight, and let's see how we go with this. Right, 1 second, what have we got here? Okay, we use the little stepped adapter. I can see how this is going to work. In. Yep. And then presumably there, and then you adapt to here. Okay, all right. Oh, and there's a stubby as well. Perhaps we should have used this. We'll try both. Let's see if we get what the results are like. So O-ring seals on everything look pretty good. I've got to say, so far this feels pretty good. Yeah, it's interesting. So the quick release is that's sloppy. I can't see how that can hold pressure, but we'll soon see. This will be interesting. I might have to pull this from here. Wow. Okay. I don't know how clear that is, guys. That's recorded 25 psi. That's first time it's used. Let's just recheck all the connections. Let's try that again. Wow, it's recorded 10 pounds. So I presume we are losing pressure. This connection is dire. Let's get rid of that connection, and we'll go for the stubby adapter and just see how that performs. So that quick release adapter is definitely not working right there. It's a bit better on this connection. Strange. That's okay. Let's see how we go now. So I presume if they're smart, that must be spark plug size. Okay, cool. Okay, and back on. Okay, it's a better fit. Let's see how we go now. Okay, that's better. 75, 80, 85, 90, 90, about 92 or 93 psi. Okay, 92, 93, just under 95, so, but not quite at 90, so 92, 93 psi. Go once more. .94, just under 95 psi, so okay, consistent both times. 95. Let me just put that down here. So the 04028, 95 psi, and that's the Chinese, and then the MV is there. Okay, right, let's put that cool there. Let's release it. Yeah, very disappointing the quality of this quick connect, particularly as I don't believe that thread is a 14 thread, is it? That looks like a, what is that? That's definitely not a 14. That's a 16. How strange is that? Okay. So then, for the most common sizes for most of us with our chainsaws, we're going to be using an M14. So you have to put the adapter on then, and there is no other way to adapt it other than through this quick release coupling. Okay. Put that there. Right then, let's get the Mityvac out. So obviously there's a price differential here, not insignificant either. The Mityvac kit is about 120-ish, 125 I think I paid for her. There and there. So, but beautifully made, the Mityvac kit, he says, if we can get it to correct orientation. Even just screwing in onto the O-rings, you feel it's progressive and it just snugs on, so you know the O-ring's seated. The quick connects are fantastic, and the gauge is very robust. Okay, let's see how we go with this girl. Yeah, okay. So the gauge is reading 110, 20, 130, 135 psi. Oh, we'll reset it and go again. And identical. So 135 psi both times. Mityvac 135 psi. And interesting as well, if this genuinely was at 95 psi, one, you wouldn't have that type of feedback from the compression when you're pulling it over, and also the engine wouldn't just simply run right. So what we will do then, so it's not unsurprising really, let's move on to the low compression engine. This would be very interesting to see how the results differ with a low compression engine, or if they become closer, or if perhaps on a higher volume engine, perhaps then it becomes closer. So we'll put the 028 there. Right, the caster. Beautiful engines these are. And when they're in great condition, they are a ferocious high compression engine, but this one's, she's tired, bless her, but the paintwork is just spectacular. So interestingly then, so the caster, this is the C70, is almost identical apart from knuckle guard casting in the housing to the Alpina 070. So the non-AV version of the Alpina 070S with the little sight glass for the oil tank, and just but beautiful construction. Right, let's get the kit there. See if we can get that adapter in. It's going to be an interesting fit actually. There. 19. Right, let's go again. Oh, it's tight. Can we fit it? No, not without the removal of that handle, which we're not going to do. Okay, so that's going to be a very difficult one to check then, unless we go back to our quick connector, which we'll have to do. Let's see how we go. Disappointing. it's tight on the O-ring. It feels good. Just the quick connect feels rubbish. Okay. Right. Let's see if we can register any compression at all. Okay, I can see there's going to be a common factor here. 25 psi. Let's go again. So, same as before then, exactly 25 psi with this adapter. Right. Very interested to see what the Mityvac is on this engine. I haven't compression tested her before. Just there was no point because she was running so badly. So the caster, 25 psi. Right. What I'm really interested to see as well is the 056, my bigger displacement with the highest compression of the three by far, I would think. And there. Hold that. And so, how clear that is. So she's just 70 psi. So which is why this girl is really running and struggling so bad. It's amazing she actually starts to fire, unless when she starts to run and get hot, she generates a little bit more compression. Go again. Yeah, again. So exactly 70 psi. So on the Mityvac we've got 70. Last test then. Last test, the very imposing and impressive 056. I'm sure most people would probably say actually that if it wasn't for the ignition systems on the 056, they would be, I think they're just an amazing saw, but just really let down with the intermittent problems they get with the ignition. Still spectacular saws. Right. Oh, what a beast. I think I already showed you, this saw has immense compression. I can't actually wait to see the results for this engine. So we've got the stubby adapter, we're going to go straight for that this time. This is just worse than junk, just total garbage. Okay. Make sure that's in the stop position. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Oh. What do we get? Well, this girl is reading just shy of 125 psi. Let's go again. Oh. 5, 10, 15. So it's okay, so 120 psi. So 056, 120 psi. And so again, it is an interesting, it really is an interesting cross-section of engines when you think that if you had running which is slightly unusual and you really wanted to accurately know the condition of the piston and liner, and perhaps even more so, maybe not the condition of the piston line, but the tolerance between the bore and the piston rings and the seal you're getting, you would not be able to achieve it with some of this other kit. Right then. Oh, I've not jammed the pull cord, have I? I have jammed the pull cord. What did it jam on? 140 psi after 2 pulls. There we go. Let me just... How have I done that? Right, let's try that again. Right. Oh, right then. Ah, hey. Oh, just hit the pressure release slightly. So 150, and I just hit the pressure release. Let's go again. Okay. Try and stay away from that button if I can. Okay, 155 psi. Let's just mark that down. So very interesting. That was, so on the 028 then, we were registering 95 psi, actual 135, so 40 pounds out. On the caster, we couldn't use anything except the flexible adapter. So reading 25 psi, actual psi 70. And on the 056, showing 120 pounds, but actually 155 psi. So again, it's not wanting to be unkind about some of this kit. It's a nice selection of adapters, but it's absolute garbage. Can you believe? Another £25 kit, even with the Schrader valves in place. The quick release is just wow. Look at it. It's just absolute junk. Absolute shocking. What a shockingly, terribly manufactured piece of kit. And again, these had a huge number of ratings. So it just goes to show how many of the ratings are either manipulated and completely untrue. That's just so. It's pointless us moving on to a bigger displacement engine because it's, look how far out it is. 30%, 40%. Wow, it's on the caster, depending, you know, it's 3 times out. It's hysterical. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Hope that's interesting. So I guess the lesson there is, if you're after a compression tester, do not buy any of this Chinese junk. It really is a complete and total waste of time. Something like the Mityvac, this is the 5530. I've got on so well with it, and it has been an absolute invaluable piece of kit for the workshop. Or the snap-on, but the snap-on's more money again, but they read identical. Guys, stay safe. More videos soon. Bye for now.